What's up, everyone? Serious Trueborn Frog here, and what you see here is a little brew that I myself brought to the Connecticut Regionals, KMC, Torrington, Connecticut. I really want to talk about the deck. I think it's an interesting idea, and I brought it into the tournament thinking it was an alright idea. I know a lot of people are talking about Rush, and this deck, as you can see with the no Shield Blaster blockers, is going to have a rough time against Rush. So I want to, before I get into why I ran this and what it does, I really want to tell you what made me say, you know what, I'm gonna try this deck out. So pretty much last minute on the car ride there, I decided to run this deck. Almost last second too. I had a Kalima deck built. I really wanted to try it. It was testing rather well, but I built this deck a while back, and I just always wanted to try it. As you can see, it might not be simple to some of you. It's fine. It is a simple deck, but you just have to use your mind and you'd understand. So you see this. They're all ramp creatures. Every single card gains you mana pretty much, except Necros, which can get you a guy back that gains you mana. And then there's a Varaka. So pretty much the strategy of the deck is to ramp, get to Kurragar, drop a ramp guy, and then that'll flip the top card of your deck, which will be a guy that ramps, and then that will get you another guy with Kurragar's trigger. You'll get a guy that ramps, etc., etc. You have a big board, and then hopefully you can get a Varaka on board. If not, you can just go in next turn. Varaka is also really good at resetting cards, so you can like reset Kivus and stuff and get a good value. Anyway, my initial build of this deck was very anti-rush. I was running 3 Bone Blades, 3 Ghost Bite, which is like a pseudo Bone Blades for those of you that don't know. It's black turn 4, minus 3,000 to 1 creature. I was running 3 Sprout, 3 Bottle. I was running 6 blockers. I was really trying to beat Rush, because I know that's this deck's most difficult matchup. Even if it's not Rush, even if it's like an aggro deck, this deck can have some troubles. But the problem with that was I had played against my friend the night before with my anti-Rush build, and he beat me 6 games in a row with all of my anti-Rush cards that were only setting me back from my combo. So I decided to cut all of the anti-Rush cards and just make the deck as straightforward as possible. I wanted to just have ramp creatures and Kurragar. That way when I got to my combo, I won no matter what. And it proved to be a solid idea. Knowing that I would lose to Rush, I went into the tournament knowing that I would lose to Rush, because I figured, what are the chances I'm going to lose to a Rush round 1, and then, round 2 get paired up against a Rush. I had to lose to 2 Rushes. I felt my matchup against almost everything was so strong, because every deck is really slow right now, and this deck can take full advantage of that. So so that was my reasoning. I knew this deck could beat any slow deck like Haven. Even if Haven runs ramp, I just know this deck can beat it, because this deck is very powerful. You pretty much just drop like 13 creatures in a Kurragar in a Varaka, and you can just go in, and they can't do anything except to Storm Spark Blast, and even if they Storm Spark kill some of your creatures, next turn they'll still have an overwhelming amount of creatures, and they'll still be in trouble. So round 1 I got paired up against the eventual winner of the tournament, Brian Durkin, and he was running Greed Dragons, which is a solid matchup for me. He's a friend of Steve Silverman, and I've been talking to Steve about this deck, so I figured Brian may or may not have known about the deck. It turns out he didn't, but game 2 I played like he did, and I actually got punished for it. I made a play where I summoned an Octuska to try and draw into some answers, rather than a Kivu to get back my Kurragar, because I had enough shields on board for him to kill me next turn, but instead of him killing me next turn, he Storm Sparked my field and killed that. So had I summoned the Kivu instead of the Octuska, I could have Kivu back Kurragar, and then next turn I could have Kurragar plus Sprout for game. I mean, unless I like bricked, but chances are I don't brick. So yeah, that kind of sucked, but right after that I got paired up against Rush, so I lost because I just can't beat Rush, and then I got a bye, and then I got one more round. I played against an aggro deck. Usually can't beat aggro, and that's how it went. I went 0-3 and a bye. So I think this deck has potential, that's all I'm saying. And the next set is an Earth set, so I think it's going to be scary, because if there's any more ramp creatures, this deck could be one of the most dominant, annoying decks ever, and it could just piss everyone off. How did I think of this idea, I guess? Well, to be honest, I'm just a big fan of the nature civilization. I always liked ramp creatures. I thought they were a cool idea. They're kind of like bodies that, you know, get you ahead of the game. Bronze Arm Tribe was one of my favorite cards in the original Duel Masters, when I used to play that. So I always keep notice of whenever they make a new, you know, ramp creature. Tatsurian the Champion last set was one of them, my favorite cards in the last set. It's just a really cool card. I even took notice of Deepwood Druid. I thought he was cool too. But yeah, so we got the Chief Mini Tribes, the Bronze Arm Tribe, the Deepwood Druid, the Tatsurian, the Skak, the Octuska, the Kivu. All these guys make you mana. Then you get the Razorhide. When he attacks, he makes you mana. So it's not as potent with Kurragar, but if you can stick them on board, or Cordia, these guys can, you know, bring some mana on board. Like Cordia can bring back a Tatsurian, a Skak, and Octuska, and make a mana, trigger your Kurragar. Everything works with each other. And what I really, really like about this deck is, say you have too many Kurragars in hand and you mana one, then they discard your hand. You always have a way to get back Kurragar, whether it be Necros to get it back from grave, or Kivu to get it back from mana. Same thing with Varaka. These are kind of the combo pieces of the deck, but so you're kind of scared to lose them sometimes. And that definitely does happen, since all your top of your decks are random, so when you flip the top card to put it in mana, it's going to be random, and if it's a Kurragar or, you know, a Varaka, you can just get it back with their Kivu. So if you do want to try this deck, I suggest you hold on to your, you know, your regeneration cards, I guess is the word, for like Kivu and Necros, because they're definitely powerful cards in the deck. Necros might seem like a weird pick, but it's simply because I figured it to be kind of like another mana generator. If I have one of these in my hand, I can just drop her off Necros, and you know, her add to hand effect is great too. But it's just so Kurragar doesn't brick as much. You always want to hit a creature that can create a mana. So the reason I'm running Chief Mini Tribes, a lot of people tell me to cut it, but it honestly is the best card in the deck. Because I found that on turn 9, if you're at turn 9, which you can get to rather quickly, you don't really want to drop Kurragar, because you could just pass, and if your opponent has removal, you're boned. So what I like to do is I like to wait till turn 11, have the Kurragar and the Mini Tribes or the Sprout, and you can kind of go off from there without, you know, being prone to removal. It's a nice way to go about the strategy. Yeah, it's and yeah, that's pretty much the deck, guys. I'm definitely going to make some changes. I think I want to not gear the deck towards Rush, but maybe a bit towards, you know, aggressive turn 6 starts, because this deck, if you didn't notice, doesn't really start till turn 6. Like this is the before turn 6. You can get to it sometimes, but like the only relevant cards in the before turn 6 are like the spells, Sprout, Bottle, and Reap. And so Bottle's real nice because it's always going to be a mana ramp card. So yeah, the deck really suffers from the early game. So I kind of want to maybe throw in some good shield blasts, maybe, I'm not sure yet, to kind of counter, you know, aggression, whether it be like Terror Pits, or maybe I'm definitely going to throw in Tendril Grasps. I think I need that card. I just don't know how I want to go about the deck yet, but yeah, I'm sure I'll update you guys with more, I guess, updates on the deck. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos, guys.